Hello again, fellow homesteaders. I'm going to update you on where we are now in the process. I took my clothes that had been soaking for at least an hour in the mordant solution, and I wrung them out really well. They're still damp, but I wrung out all the excess water. And as soon as you have out the excess water, you can go ahead and put them right into your dye. You can also put them in the following day when they're dry, as long as they have this mordant solution and they've not been washed and dried again to wash it away. They're fine, they're set, they're ready to go. Now I'm going to grab the first pot we started on was the ironweed. And you always have to strain it to get out the natural matter. A fine mesh strainer would be better. Sometimes I might lay a piece of cheesecloth or some coffee filters in the bottom. So I do not have any of this handy today at the moment. So if I get some natural matter in there, I'm just going to go ahead and pick it out with my fingers or just pluck it off once it gets on the clothing. So I'm going to go ahead. This ironweed has gone through multiple color changes, from a pretty teal blue to a green to looking more like a brown color now. So we're going to pour it in here. And I have a tin foil roasting pan beneath my strainer to catch the actual dye. And you can see in the pot, still rather warm, all the color has been completely sucked out of these purple flowers. And that's exactly what you want, no matter what fruit, vegetable, herb, spice, or weed that you're using. You want to make sure all the color's been sucked out. That's how you can tell for sure that it's time to take it off the stove. And the strainer caught some here. They were thick and waterlogged, so a lot of them stayed in the bottom of the pot, which made straining easier. Now I'll lift this out. It looks really dark when it kind of congregates. I'm not quite level here, but it seems almost like a yellowish brown when you can catch it. See if I can tilt it well enough. I might be better tilting the camera. And we'll do the dye test. I'm going to let this cool, which you don't have to. You can put your fabric right into it, but it needs to sit for if you're simmering, if you put it back on the stove and simmer again, you can probably take it out in about an hour. But if you're going to let it soak in it and thoroughly absorb it, you need 8 to 12 hours or overnight. And I'm going to go ahead and do it in a process so that you can see how each one of the dyes looked. I do not have enough pots, enough stove space to do them all in an hour with simmering. I'm going to go ahead and move you over here to get a better idea of the color. As you can see, it's kind of a yellowish color, which is not what it started out at all. It gets really dark over here when it dips. It's not level. And there's some natural matter in there that I'm going to need to pick out. So the color did not come out anything at all what the plant looked like, and that is not uncommon. The tomatoes were supposed to be a pretty shade of blue, and they turned out green. It's a nice shade of green, like an olive drab, but it did not turn out the color that was advertised as being on one of my color charts. So I'm going to go ahead and do all my straining here, and I'm going to put all of these natural paints into mason jars, or natural dyes into mason jars, so they will keep, and I can start soaking the ones I have space for now, and then I will alternate and I will pull them out and we'll soak some more so we can see what every one of them look like. But I'll go ahead and take my little piece of wood here. Now normally if I make a natural paint, I mix it with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. We can go ahead and give it a try. The color here, that light yellow, is really just too light for this wood, so it didn't work really well, the ironweed, to also use as a natural paint. You can't even really see much of a difference. Hopefully we will be able to when we get some of the more colorful dyes as we bring them out. I'm sure the tomatoes and the wild black raspberries I'm doing, and maybe some grapes, will give us a lot more color to do some painting on wood with.